Morning guys, so welcome to the next tutorial that is also a very interesting topic. So it is the YourKit Java profiler. So as of now we have seen server response time, latency, throughput, etc. But we have not considered the fact that how much memory is used at that time when you're applying load, or how much CPU is used, heap memory, and some other factors both at the host server side as well as your client server side, right? So in this session we'll be using YourKit profiler to understand profiling, how you can attach your application and measure CPU time, memory usage, and other statistics. So let's go back to our Jmeter. So this is a basic script of hitting in Google server with 100 users. I'll clear out the results. So this is hitting 100 users at Google server. So since we have to talk about YourKit Java profiler in this session, so let's start with the installation process. So on Google, search YourKit Java profiler. Open the first link and you can come down, install your package as per the operating system you're working on. So for example, I'm working on Windows, so I just have to click on this and install. So once your installer is installed and you have installed the application, go to your program files. You'll see a folder with YourKit Java profiler. Open it and go to the bin folder. You'll see an application file here with the name of profiler. So double click on it and your profiler will open. So it will list all the applications that are using JVM and are running. So for example, I also have Eclipse here, so that is why it is showing Eclipse. So let me close this window and show all running JVMs. So maybe the process is still on, so that is why it is still showing Eclipse here, right? So you see that your name Apache Jmeter appears here and the status is agent attached. So as of now only agent is attached. You have not attached your application with this profiler. So what you have to do is right click on it and connect to application. So this is the profiling screen. So you can go to performance charts. You can see here CPU usage, thread count, heap memory, right? And your other non-heap memory is also there. Then you have thread count. So other parameters are also there. So what we are concerned about is CPU usage and heap memory, right? So first of all, let me close my Eclipse process so that I don't see this in my profiling now. Okay, so Eclipse is closed now. And let me start a new profiling session. YJP. Okay. Right click, connect to application, and click on performance chart. So now you have Jmeter. For example, say you run a script here and analyze what it is going through. You can see here that no graphs are generated right now, which means the application has not connected properly maybe. Oh yeah, you can see the CPU time now. CPU time used is, let me maximize it. So Jmeter is taking 11% of CPU usage, whereas the heap all threads is the count of thread. So heap memory allocated is 499 MB, which is quite normal. It should not go in GBs and increase. So till that time it works perfectly. So since Jmeter is not as big application as Eclipse, so you can see the data is quite good out here. So once you increase your processes, because this was a very simple request which was going to the server and you were getting a response normally, you could have a lot of complex requests in your test plan, a lot of executions, loops and all. So all that depends on your server resources to increase on according to that. So for example, let me increase the number of users to say 150 and increase. So at 30 minutes 40 seconds your load is 21%, and then you see now you have increased the number of threads. Your load or your CPU usage has also increased to 26%. Your threads running are 165 and daemon threads are 11. Heap memory is quite good as far as your Jmeter is concerned. 499 is quite obvious. So these are some parameters which you can measure. So what I am showing you currently is on my client side, I mean on my laptop, on my operating system. So if you have an application hosted on a server and you can access that server, so you can do the same over there. For example, say, let me explain in a notepad. So you have a Google server, right? And on an average, I mean approximately there were millions of people hitting this server and millions hitting this server, and server is responding, right? Now if you open the server machine and run this Java profiler, you can see what CPU usage, heap memory, and all the other parameters that we just discussed sometime while back. So all these resources at the server end you can monitor and profile them. So what I am currently showing you is the server resources at my end. How much CPU of mine is getting used, how much heap memory from my system is getting used while Jmeter is putting loads, right? So let me show you another thing. So let's open Eclipse again. Since Eclipse has a lot of code, so obviously the memory taken by it would be much higher than what is compared with the Jmeter processes. So I've opened the Eclipse now. So for attaching Eclipse to this JavaKit profiler, you have to add a plugin to the Eclipse, which I have already done. I'm not explaining in this chapter because we are more concerned about how Jmeter works. So let's see now, all running Jmeter, all JVMs, Eclipse ready for attach, right click and attach to application. So I've attached it and let me click on performance chart. Now you see CPU 71%, which is quite higher as compared to the Jmeter. It was only taking 26% now, and this 71 is a combination of both, so approximately around 45-46% Eclipse is consuming. So now you can see that Eclipse is a much higher application and requires good amount of CPU usage. So this was all about just the introduction to how you can use your JavaKit profiler to measure server resources also, apart from the response time latency, what you get from the listeners you have in Jmeter. These parameters, all the server parameters are different from these parameters which are received as a response from the server. So that was all we were having in this today's session about just an overview of this profiler. Thank you.